They called him a heretic, a man who dared to defy the gods of Egypt, a pharaoh who erased centuries of belief and replaced them with the worship of a single blinding sun. He took the countless gods of Egypt and made them into one. He built new cities and a new religion around this sun god Aten, and he spread his message throughout the kingdom. His name was Akhenaten, and for over 3,000 years, the world has tried to forget him. But what if the truth they buried was the key to understanding the first monotheist in history? All we have to do is uncover them, and that's exactly what I set out to do. You see, Akhenaten wasn't just a pharaoh. He was a revolutionary. But after he died, his son took the throne, and with him, the old ways of worshiping the old gods returned. Akhenaten was erased from history. His temples were destroyed, his legacy forgotten. But there are still pieces of him out there, hidden in plain sight. Did you know that before Moses, one man dared to defy the gods? He was an Egyptian pharaoh who lived 3,000 years ago, and he did something that no one had ever done before. He closed down all the temples in his kingdom. He kicked out the priests, and he even destroyed their sacred texts. He said that there was only one true God, Aten the sun, disk in the sky, and he built a brand new capital city called Amarna, where he carved his own face on every single stone monolith. But when he died, the priests took over, and they erased him from history. They destroyed his temples, and they chiseled his name off every stone. And for 3,000 years, they've rewritten the history books so that no one would ever know that he existed. This is the story that they don't want you to know. Do you know any obscure history facts? Share them below. The world before the heresy was one of unshakable traditions. For almost 2,000 years, the pharaohs had ruled as divine intermediaries, upholding Mat, the cosmic balance, through the worship of dozens of gods, foremost among them, Amun-Ra, the king of gods, and sun. He built new shrines, not to Amun, but to a lesser solar deity, the Aten, the visible disk of the sun. Would Egypt, the land of the pharaohs, become the kingdom of the sun? Or would it all end in heresy? This was not merely favoritism, it was revolution. By the 5th year of his reign, he changed his name to Akhenaten. Effective for the 8th, he declared the Aten to be not only supreme, but the only god, a monotheistic decree in a deeply polytheistic land. Then came the most audacious act of all. He abandoned Thebes and began building a new capital in the middle of the desert, a virgin site between Memphis and Thebes. Its name, Akhenaten, the horizon of the 8th. There the king and his queen Nefertiti would preside like avatars of divinity on earth. Workers toiled under the brutal sun to raise a city from sand. Palaces, homes, broad open-air temples where the Aten could shine unobstructed. The temples of Thebes thundered with ritual. Gold flowed from Nubian mines. Armies expanded Egypt's empire, and the god Amen grew wealthier than the kings who worshipped him. By the time young Amenhotep IV, later Akhenaten, ascended the throne, the priesthood of Amen had become a state within a state, richer, more powerful, and perhaps more feared than the royal palace itself. The boy pharaoh was born into splendor, raised within the conservative rituals of court. But behind the palace walls, change was brewing. When Amenhotep IV became pharaoh, few expected upheaval. Yet early in his reign, the signs began. He had reshaped the very face of Egypt. But the old ways were deeply ingrained. Could Akhenaten truly append to millennia of tradition? He stopped funding traditional temples. Akhenaten had not only rewritten religion. Imagine a pharaoh who turned his back on everything Egypt had ever stood for, who declared a new god and built an entirely new city. Madman or visionary? That's what we'll explore today. Unlike the towering gloom of Karnak or Luxor, the temples of Akhenaten had no roofs. The sunlight poured freely and worship was conducted in the open. No walls separated the worshippers from the sky. Songs and flowers and offerings were lifted directly to the Aten, the sun disk. Art changed too. In earlier dynasties, pharaohs were shown as idealized gods, muscular, distant, immortal. Written in cuneiform, they were diplomatic letters proof of Egypt's once mighty role in global affairs. Since then, archaeologists have uncovered homes, workshops, even royal tombs. They tell us not of a madman but of a dreamer. A king who tried to pull the world toward the sun and was burned, whether by illness, assassination, or divine punishment. History does not say. Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like these. His death plunged Egypt into chaos. His successor was a mysterious figure Menkaure, perhaps a brother or he ruled briefly. Then came a boy king, whose name would echo through time. With his reign came restoration. The gods returned. He was shown with a long, narrow face, wide hips, and elongated limbs. Some say, alien-like. The temples of Amun reopened. Akhenaten was abandoned. Its buildings were left to decay beneath desert winds. His name was erased from monuments. His king was declared a heretic, but not completely forgotten. But under Akhenaten, royal imagery became strangely intimate. He cradled his children, he kissed scenes of family life, never before shown in royal art, now adorned the temple walls. The people of Akhenaten lived in airy houses. Streets were laid in grids. Nobles built villas. Artisans lived in neighborhoods, rich with color and music. Life bustled, but all centered around one idea. The Aten shines upon all. Yet, beyond the city limits, resentment brewed. The old gods were not forgotten. In Thebes, priests whispered of vengeance. In the army, commanders grumbled about divine policy taking precedence over empire. And far beyond Egypt's borders, enemies watched a distracted kingdom. Akhenaten ruled for 17 years. Then, as suddenly as he appeared, he died. In 1887, a cache of clay tablets was found in the ruins of Amarna. Tell us, would you follow Akhenaten to the sun, or would you stay in the comforting shadows of the old gods? Today, Akhenaten city lies silent. The wind moves across broken walls. The temples are dust. And yet, something of the vision lingers. Some call him the first monotheist. Others, the original utopian. Some even say Akhenaten was Moses or a prototype for him. In a world governed by rigid order, he broke the rules. In a time of 1,000 gods, he saw only one. That his story lives on in biblical echoes. But perhaps his true legacy is this. He dared to ask questions. And though the sand has swallowed his city, the sun still rises over the Nile, just as it always has. Was Akhenaten a prophet ahead of his time, or a mad king lost in the desert? One thing is certain. The truth still burns beneath the sands of Amarna, and we're only just beginning to uncover it.
This has been another chapter in Secrets of the Pharaohs. If you enjoyed the journey, please like the video. Subscribe for more ancient stories and share your thoughts in the comments below. The past still speaks. If we choose to listen,